welcome to Misty Mountain Homestead. My name is Leanne. Today we'll be making some sourdough buns. We call it burger buns, but it's sandwich buns. And it's just with sourdough and brown sugar, warm water, olive oil, sea salt, and whole wheat flour. So here I have a third of a cup of warm water. And to that, I will be adding a quarter of a cup of brown sugar. And this brown sugar, we actually make it ourselves. It's just organic cane sugar, and we mix it with organic molasses, and then you just put as much molasses in there as you need. So if you want to have a darker one, which this one is pretty dark, you put more molasses. If you want a light one, you just put a little bit of molasses. And that way you always have a like fresh molasses, brown sugar. You know when you go to the grocery store and you get brown sugar and it's hard like a rock? Well, we don't have this issue anymore because plus we have a little gizmo on the bottom here. It's a little puck, and I think it's made of clay. And you wet that, and you put that on the bottom of it, and it keeps your brown sugar from clumping together. Okay, so I have a third of a cup of warm water, a quarter of a cup of brown sugar. The reason the water is warm is because the sugar will not dissolve in cold water. And 1.5 teaspoons of salt. One and a half. Okay, and then I just use my sourdough starter. I have 2 sourdough starters. I have Mia, which was born on November 26, 2014, and that's all-purpose flour. And this one is, I call it Robin. She was born February 2nd, 2015, and that's whole wheat bread. The reason I call it Robin, it's because I use red 5 flour. There was for a while though I could not get any red 5, so it's not pure. But you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. So I always use both, so they both stay active. So I don't know if you can see that, but they're pretty active. Lots of bubbles. So put that. And you just put whatever, I don't really measure. I'll just use this one, I guess. And I did not feed them. They were in the fridge. I used them a couple days ago. And when I use them, I just use what I need, and then I feed them again. We can stick around for that. And I put them back in the fridge. Okay. I guess I need my bread tools. This is very handy. You don't need to have that, but I really prefer it. I always think I have everything I need before I start video, and I never think of it. All right. sure we get all the sugar in there. You don't have to have sugar, but for like burger buns and things, it's usually something that it's added to it. It's still way better than the store-bought. So, however, I cannot eat any of this. This is for Phil. He eats all the bread. I have one toast in the morning with the sourdough bread. There's no sugar in it. And there's no fresh flour in it either. And it's more than overnight. It gets to, the dough gets to sit in the fridge for 2-3 days. So it's well fermented. So I don't think it seems to bother me, but I could not eat that though. And I'm gonna start with the flour. This flour is a couple days old since I used the last, and I just milled some fresh one. But I'll use my 2 days old first, and then I'll replace with this one. I just mill that. I buy the organic wheat berries online now, and I do have an attachment on the KitchenAid mixer, and it mills the flour. It does a really good job, and I don't know if you can see that, but the whole wheat flour that you get, maybe you can see. You see the brown lines? There's a lot of dark brown in there. It's the bran. A lot of the bran is removed from the whole wheat flour when you purchase already milled flour. Plus they have a preservative in there. I'm not sure what it is yet, but anyway, I much rather have this. I'm really happy with that. Okay, so we'll keep on doing with this, and now I add about like 2.5 cup of flour. So I'll just start with one. And like I said, you don't need this tool here to do this, but I much prefer. Maybe I can zoom you in a bit. I guess I need a proper holder for my camera. I have a tripod, but it's not very high, and I just have this on some kind of gizmo. Okay. So this is the second cup. I guess I can start using my hand now. I guess I didn't, well, yeah. I needed to make some more flour anyway because I have to feed the starters again. Just put this way. So I was actually thinking if anyone would be interested that my sourdough starters are very well established. They're both over 8 years old. Yes, over 8 years old. And I was thinking of experimenting and dehydrating some and revive it again, and maybe making a little card on how to. And maybe if anyone is interested, I could try to make some sourdough starter, or dehydrate some and package them in a way with a little card and showing how to use it, how to feed it, and the instruction. If anyone would be interested in that, might be something. Just let me know in the comment if it's something you would like, because obviously you cannot ship any live sourdough. It would not be live by the time it gets to destination, or at room temperature. It has to be fed a lot more often. If you put it in the fridge, I left it in there for almost a week and it was fine. I usually don't leave them for a week because I make too much bread with them. I make the regular everyday bread, and I make a flat bread like tortillas, and I also make these burger buns. So between the three, and Phil like his bread. He eats bread pretty much with every meal, which I think it's a bit too much, but he loves his bread. And then I usually knead that for a few minutes. Oh, this is April 24th, and we already have we still had snowing a bit earlier today. It didn't stay, but it still snowed. Winter just doesn't want to go this year. It wants to stay with us, even though it's not very welcome by anyone. Not at this time of year. So that's the same thing like most breads. You'll knead it when it's not too sticky anymore. Then what I'll be doing is I'll be putting this aside and let it sit overnight. Let it rise and sit overnight. And tomorrow morning we'll be back with that dough. And we'll divide this in 8 and make 8 little buns. Ball, and just put a little bit of olive oil in here. Grease that a little bit. And voila! So I'll leave this on the counter overnight, and then tomorrow morning it should like double in sizes. Then we'll be back tomorrow morning to process this. See you. Good morning. Welcome back again. So this is the next morning. This has been on the rice all night. As you can see, it doubled in size. Nice big bubbles. You can actually hear it too. So in this, we're just gonna take this out, and we're gonna divide this in 8. Make nice 8 little burger buns. So I just roughly cut in half. Eyeball it to half. And half again. And what I do with these is I just fold them with my hands on both sides and fold it within again. And I keep doing this for a little while, not too long, because then the dough gets really stiff. And then just round it, and I don't know if you can see that, you just pull a little bit with your fingers and let it drag on the counter to form a ball. If you have something like that on the bottom, there's no big deal. So, and here I put these on parchment paper. Put a little bit of cornmeal so it doesn't stick. I reuse my parchment paper, as you can see. A little brown on them doesn't hurt anybody, and we just keep going with the rest of them. And after that, when these are all done, we'll just put them in the oven with the light on, no heat. With just a light on, it'll be good enough. And I put them in there for about 2 hours. So, and then we'll be back after 2 hours, and we'll put them in the little Cuisinart steam convection oven. I like this thing. It's got a really nice bread cycle, and it gives steam. You don't have to do that, but that's how we like to do it. And sometimes the steam gets plugged in from all the calcium and minerals from the water. So, but for the last year or so, we start using distilled water in it, so there's a lot less issues. It lasts a lot longer in between cleaning. And don't have to buy the distilled water. All we do is collect the water from the humidifier in the summertime because it gets pretty humid here. So we have a dehumidifier, and then you just take the water of that, and that's basically distilled water. So we use this water for the stove, and if we need to have the humidifier on in the wintertime, we do the same thing. We use the water from the dehumidifier. So in the winter, it gets pretty dry with the furnace, forced air furnace. And summertime, the basement gets pretty damp, and we have a lot of food storage down there, so we try to take the humidity out of it. We buy everything in bulk, although we put them in pails and try to be very careful, but still better to try to keep the humidity down in the summertime. And today I was going to make salsa too. I already defrosted all the tomatoes from last year. And later on I'm going to try to, I'm running out of time. I was supposed to do this first thing in the morning, and between the chores and things happens on the homestead and you get delayed, tied up. And it's almost, it's after 11 and I'm just doing this, so it's late morning. Being up since 6, but there's lots to do. So I was actually planning on making a big batch of salsa and canning it today. I'm still going to make the salsa. It's going to be late though, so I'm probably going to do the canning tomorrow. So it's not going to give me much time to do the editing on the videos. So it may not be published until Thursday. Oh, until Thursday or Friday. What's today? Wednesday. So this is the last one. Et voila! The last one. Now I'm just going to put this, like I said, in the oven with the light on. And I'm going to put a towel on top of them so they don't dry out. And we'll come back in 2 hours and put them in the little steam oven. See you then. And almost 2 hours, and they puff a little bit, not too much. Now we're putting this in this little steam oven. There's actually a bread cycle on this thing, so we put it at 375 for 14 minutes. And we'll just wait. And then when this is done, I put them on the rack, and then I put the other two in for the same amount of time. Oops. And it makes nice little buns. It should start to steam any time now. I think it steams 2 or 3 times per hour. I'm not sure. But it makes a nice little crust. These are the ones that I just got out of the oven. These are my regular daily loaf. That's only whole wheat flour. The only white flour that is in there is from the starter. So because I have 2 starter and I always use both. I don't use a whole lot of white flour anymore, but my sourdough starter, my first one, Mia, is the white one, and she's my first one, 8 years old. I just can't kill her. So we keep her around and keep on feeding it, and just a little bit of white flour fermented from sourdough. starter. It will not hurt anything in a couple of little. So there's maybe like less than a cup, maybe half a cup divided between these two loaves. So that's not too bad. So I'll just show you, I'll pause for a little bit and I'll show you what it looks like when they come out. See you in a bit. And we're back. Looks like this thing is almost done. It's just about to peep. Oh, wish had some smell TV. It smells so good in here. What smells better than fresh bread, really? Oh, actually, my sister does not like the smell of fresh bread. That is, I never heard that anywhere else, but yes, it gives her headaches or something. Anyway, she feels sick with the smell of fresh bread baking. I just don't get it. Obviously, she will never work in a bakery. And here we go. Just perfectly yummy. And we'll put the next one in. And that is it. So we'll just see you the next time. It'll be a salsa video if you're interested in. You can click the like on this channel, this video if you like. Press subscribe and share it on your social media. That would help my channel a lot. And you can click that little bell so you will be notified on my next video. So thank you for watching and have a great day.